Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm gonna create one village scape. You can see I already create the drawing. Now I will apply the color, and I hope it will help you to develop your watercolor skill. So now you can see I apply the water, fresh water, with my rigger brush, and I just wash the paper before I apply the color. So you should do that like me, and I think this video will really help you. So you can see I just use cobalt blue and ultramarine blue with flat brush, half-inch flat brush, and you can see how I apply the color. For bushes I use half-inch flat brush, and the color is hooker's green and ultramarine blue. You can see how I apply the color, and when you apply it, always remember the page is wet on wet, because when the page is wet and you apply the color, it will totally blend, and this is the main beauty in watercolor medium, when it will blend. And it is a background tree, so that's why I create like this. And after it, when it will dry, then I apply some details. And for grass I use a sap green. You can see how I apply, and it is pigmentation is 3 on 10 or 2 on 10, because I wash the color just. And you can see how I use the color, and it is the first tone, that's why I freely use the color. And don't be hesitate when you use the color, just freely use on the paper like me. And regularly you should just practice watercolor, and definitely you will understand day by day your watercolor will increase. And here I use yellow ochre and little bit of lemon yellow for fresh orangey look. And you can see how I apply the color, and you can feel the color pigmentation is very low, because I use a lots of water, because it is a first tone and I just wash the paper. This area I use burnt sienna and little bit of yellow ochre, and you can see how I apply those color on the sheets. And when you apply watercolor, you should use a good GSM paper, because paper is really valuable for watercolor. So you should think about it. And you can see how I apply the clothes area, which is hanging on the right side. And you can see how I create the first tone. Now my first tone is totally dry, and now I create the coconut tree. Before I apply the color, I just wet the area with my calligraphy brush, and then I use rigger brush for coconut tree. And for the leaves I use flat brush, and you can see how I create it. And for details I use one rigger brush. You can see how I create the coconut tree. Tree area I use a little bit of hooker's green and sap green. And you can also use ultramarine blue and hooker's green and sap green, because those are really beautiful color for grass and greeny type of, and You can see how I create the coconut tree with rigger brush, and the color pigmentation is too light because it is not our main part, it is a secondary part. That's why I create this totally flat. I don't apply lots of details, because if I apply lots of detail then it will hard and lots of focus will attract in this area. So that's why I don't apply lots of colors, you know. And now you can see how I create this tree with flat brush. And when you create, you can create a tree like this. Don't be hesitant, just flow the colors and add some dark area, and tree will automatically create, you know. And don't be hesitate how it will be and what is the actual tree drawing. Don't be hesitate, just create it, and you can see it will automatically create. You just need some practice and confidence, that's it. Here I use a rigger brush, and the color is ultramarine blue and little bit of burnt sienna, and the color pigmentation is more than 5 on 10, you know, because now I add the details, you know. So that's why I use a lots of colors and minimum of water. So in the first house almost done, and the second house I'm creating here, and you can see how I apply the color. I just first apply the water, and then I add some colors like burnt sienna and little bit of ultramarine blue, because I love this color so much. So that's why every time when I need some details and some darkest area, I apply the ultramarine blue. So you can see how I create the shadow area with my rigger brush. First I apply some 2 on 10 color, then I add some value on the shadow area. both houses are almost done, and now I create some details on the top. And these houses are done, and now I create the foreground grass area. First I wash the paper, and then I add some sap green and little bit of hooker screen for extra dark. You can see how I create the foreground grass area. So now my painting is almost done. I just need some shadow on the road area, so that's why I will add some water, fresh water, and then I will add some colors. For wash I use a calligraphy brush. You can see how I use the calligraphy brush, and then I will apply some colors with flat brush. And the color is, here I apply, it is ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. And my painting is almost done, and I add some water sprinkles. Sorry for my pronunciation, because I'm not enough good in English, but I will try to develop myself. You can see how I apply some sprinklings, and I use it because it has own classy effect, that's why I love it so much. And I think this video will help you to develop your art skill, and stay with me, and I will definitely come with my another video. Thank you so much. Bye bye, see you soon.